Morning Salim, morning Sergio.
Morning.
How's it going?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yes, good, thank you, good, thank you. Sorry I was late. Was waiting for Streamlabs to do an update that it decided to do this morning.
That's alright, don't worry.
No worries, no worries. Nice. Morning. Hello. Beautiful. So, see, the thing was, this morning, was that I was looking at this candle, I was like, yeah, we could take sales, but one thing I've noticed is that, it's a lot safer to take sales and, wait for resistance when we're in a heavy uptrend. So what I've been waiting for is, obviously discussed in the pre-Asian session last night, if we can get or have price staying above 144.450, then there's a higher probability that we will head up. So good buys are going to be above 144.660 to continue moving bullish. But I mean, obviously we have to wait and see how this 1 hour candle closes and the 30-minute candle closes. If it closes back in the range, then there's obviously a probability that we'll head back up to 144.660, but at the same time, there's a fair bit of range. There's a good amount of range up to 144.660, but I'd rather take buys above 144.660 because then I know that we should be heading up at that point, and we have like a 22-23 pip range. Okay, we'll wait for a few more people to join, and then we're going to start breaking down some pairs. Oh, no wick to the top. No wick to the top on GJ. So, yeah, either going to wait for support to be established at 144.500 again. So if we can get a support established and then we start to break these highs over here, then, this is going to be a good target. And then if we can break 144.660, then, there's a good opportunity for us to continue further bullish at that point. So I like this fake out move. I wasn't really interested in the sells until I saw resistance or until we started to break down below 144 400. Oh yeah, but yeah. Morning, Kelsey.
Morning, mate. You alright?
Yeah, good, thank you. So you know what we were talking about yesterday?
Yeah.
So last night I done a sim with that way forward,
Yep.
and it done 8% in a week.
Wow. How much were you risking?
1%.
Oh, nice.
1% per trade, and that was securing profits at 10 pips and then having the rest of the position at target levels. And
Yep.
yeah, it ran, and that was October 2020. That was the first week of October 2020, which is actually, when I looked back, a week that I took impulsive moves and had a couple of losing trades that week, whereas they were based on letting them run,
Yeah.
were pretty much all wins.
That's definitely insightful.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, I think a couple more sims, a bit more like kind of getting used to it from a sim perspective, and then slowly going for it with the live account. So obviously this week's it's the middle of the week, so I'm gonna try and do it to the end of the week, see how obviously it goes. But from next week, maybe try and do something like properly fresh, you know.
Yeah, I mean, if you're seeing it doing well and you've simmed it already, and you look back at your results and you see that you could have changed something, then doing it sooner rather than later is probably the best thing to do.
100%. I just want to ease into it. So like today, I was like, okay, so for sells, I want to see a resistance form. I want to see solid resistance because the trend is now bullish. We rejected this area. We're now creating higher highs and supports. So now I'm like, okay, the trend is bullish. So for sells, instead of these impulsive sells where this is where I'll be getting caught out and I'll be going, we was up around, okay, maybe today's sells I would have got like 9 pips, right? Gone break even, got stopped out, and then I've been like, oh yeah, whatever. But I mean, I could have basically, I didn't take these sells because I want to be more disciplined with counter trend trades, and take less aggressive entries, and the stronger confirmation entries. Or when you go with the higher time frames, you take the entries based off the smaller time frames, but you let them run. So you take your entries based off these smaller time frames, but not in this perspective, because from a higher time frame perspective, we hadn't broken below this area, or we haven't been closing below on the higher time frames. 1 hour candle is still open. Look at the 1 hour candle, it's now closed bullish. So there's a higher probability that the next one can also continue bullish. But the best buy opportunity that we can get today is going to be above 144.660. But yeah, I thought I'd just say, because it was kind of like it was like hopeful, it was like, wow, that's doable, and that's very good returns. But it would be very difficult to it's gonna be tough to transition, but once I do and I start seeing the benefit, it's gonna make more sense, and it's gonna work, because it's almost like I've been hindering my own potential by not keeping it simple. So like, for example, let's say how I would take a trade today, right? Let's say 8 a.m. pulls back, closes bearish, and then we get a bullish candle close over here. You could take the buys, and then you set one target up over here, and then you're closing the other target up over, if we can get above 144.660. Now obviously if you close partials here and then the other one just starts to consolidate, obviously you can manage the trade and close all out if you really want to. But if you're leaving the other half to run, then that's how you're gonna increase your profitability. But then what I would do is I would keep stops below this area, because then I know that this is a safe zone, that highly unlikely for it to get stopped out if it's going to go that way, and whatever. So what I've just got to work out is how quickly do I want to go break even. But from what happened like on the sims, doesn't really even come into that, because it's, once you start running into like 10 pips, you can secure profits and then even let it run from break even there. But it's a kind of different break even, because usually when you get your proper 10 pips, that's when the volumes come in, and that's when the push is going to happen. So yeah,
I might have to give a few sims a go this week.
I think definitely, man, because I did it and it worked, and that's just 1 week's worth. So the thing what I'm gonna do is this afternoon, or even after this, not straight away, but after the live stream, we could do it as a group, and I'll do it in the way that I would do it now, and then see what you think.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, it worked really well. And the other thing as well is that, see, like for sells and stuff, when we're in bullish uptrends, like sometimes we're gonna miss an aggressive move. Like sometimes there will be a big pump to the downside. But then what I did was I realized, I was like, okay, even though I missed that aggressive sell move, one of the trades I took, which I never took actually in October 2020 on that first week, was I looked at the higher time frames and I was like, okay, well, if we create support at this level that we came down to aggressively, I'm going to take a buy, because higher time frames are bullish. It came down to this level, I took a buy, and it corrected the whole thing and went further on. And I was like, wow, why didn't I take that beforehand? Having trust in the fact that if there's an impulsive sell move but you're anticipating buys, then wait to see it react to a stronger support level and then buy it back up. And exactly what I did, and it ran for like 40 pips.
It's amazing how like one little change can actually allow you to see the whole market in a new way.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's just a shame I didn't quite come to that conclusion a while ago, before I had, like a couple of weeks where I was just like, what's going on? All this time I thought it was the market, but well, the market hasn't moved for the way for the way I've traded. Hasn't moved well, but that's because it's been very choppy. But in the grand scale of things, the way that I would now adopt it, it would still go your way. It just takes a little bit longer. It's just a little bit more, you might be seeing a little bit of drawdown, but the direction is there. That's the point, So I'm thinking, what do you think about maybe like I don't know, trying to finish this week off with not how I've been doing, but like allowing trades to run a bit more, but being focused on obviously keeping the same risk as I have done. Otherwise, I don't want to be having a losing week. But from next week, maybe trying it with like 2-lot positions, go the whole week just 2-lot positions, trying it that way, letting the trades run, not closing out. And then, I mean, I could still do 1,000, 1,500 with a 2-lot. And then if I see that, then I can go back to the 5-lot the next week, knowing that I've built that confidence towards doing that.
Yeah, I'd say so. I'd say just get this week finished and done with, and then over the next 5 days before next week, just do some more sims and get your confidence up on that.
100%.
And then drop down a little bit to start with, and then if it's doing well, then you can obviously up your lot sizes again.
Yeah, 100%. Well, I think it will. As I'm saying, so obviously part of like it'll be weird to go like have that drawdown straight, or you know what I mean. So if I lower it down to a 2-lot, I can be nice and like easy with it. It will be safe, and I try that for the whole week, and it works out really well. I mean, then I know what I'm doing for the rest now. You know? But the good thing about it is with your runners, you're not actually letting them run technically, because a lot of the time when I've let runners run, you put stops to break even and you just let it run, and you just kind of see if you can get 30-40 pips or whatever. But with this, you're purposely targeting areas that there's a very high chance price is going to come to. Even if it's let's say for example I was only looking for buys in this range, and let's say that we knew, okay, this is a strong resistance and we hadn't broken above it in a while, then you would just measure the range, and then you would just say basically you would secure all profits up over at this target, you know, and then you're all out. That could be one example, and that was one example of what happened on the sim. The other example could be, let's say this is one target and then this is the next target, then you close 50% over here, and then you can even close more partials up over there. But you don't have to necessarily close everything up over here. You could close most there, and then as this is moving up, you could even just say, you know what, I've got 25 pips in the bag, I'm just going to close out now, you know, and then you can slowly build to leaving positions to hold up to these areas. I think 1 week of getting used to the style with the little bit of drawdown, I'll be ready to go to normal lot size again, and then so yeah, just currently waiting for a support over here. Either a support above this area again, you know, because we could pull back, create support to continue moving bullish, or buys above 144.660 is going to be good. But it might be buys above 144.660 might be an MY job, but we'll see. Yeah, because these impulsive moves, they're just, you know, when the market's not moving how we want it to, they just don't play out as well, you know, and they're very choppy and they put you under, yeah. But this is nice though. 4 hours creating support back above this range. I think it's pretty good. I think we could see a nice move up here today. So, let's do some analysis here in a minute. Do you trade EN? Yes. 2021, I've just been taking trades that have retested and formed support resistance, taking less trades but haven't lost for 3 weeks now. Awesome. Yeah, you know what? I had to have a real review, because although everything was going really well for a long time, you know, eventually, if something's it's not sustainable, but you know, it's difficult because I'm not maximizing my profitability. You know, that's the truth of it. It's not about yeah, look at these buys, man. I was speaking about these buys, but just wanted to wait for like a support, but playing out right over here. Literally, I thought, you know, most mornings, if I was thinking about this area here on, let's say this was yesterday, I would have taken sales, got stopped to break even, and not even considered buys on this move. Now, obviously, if this kind of had a wick, I would 100% taken these buys up to 144.660. But yeah, so I'm only hindering my own profitability. You know, securing everything at 10 pips is great. I'm a big advocate for securing profits at 10 pips. I can still do that. But what I need to focus on is the fact that, you know, 85% of the time, price goes to where I think it's going to go. You know, you guys see that all the time. How many times have I taken 2 trades and then it's like, oh man, on the third one it's gone, or you know, you see me take 2 losses and then, oh, it went that way, you know. And it's just like, yeah, it's just, that's the true win rate, because, you know, getting out of positions early is great. It's a fantastic thing to, you know, be cautious with risk, but at the same time, you know, if it's hindering your, like, let's say you had a 50% win rate, then, like, let's say you had a 50% win rate in the fact that your analysis 50% of the time plays out, then that's where managing risk is key. Because now you look at, okay, the ones that you lost, how could you have got out of that trade early? That's perfect. But when you have an 85% win rate, when in terms of how many times the price is going to go to your profit, right? Sorry, not that. 85% of the time, price is going to go to the targets that you provide, and where you think price is going to go based on the high time frames, everything like that. When that happens 85% of the time, but you're managing the risk, you're closing out the positions early, and then it goes your way, or you're taking 2 attempts at the move and you still can't grab it, you know, something's got to be wrong. Do you trade E? Yeah, I said trade EN. Which pair are you analyzing? GJ. How is your strategy going to change? So basically, it's not really, I mean, obviously there's going to be a change, but it's not something like I'm doing a whole new thing, you know. I look at the stuff the same way, but basically what I want to focus more on is, one, being able to let positions run further in terms of my target areas. You know, okay, let's take these sells yesterday for an example, right? I called out that we would retest 144 over the weekend if we get a pullback. I knew yesterday that if we broke below 144 450, price would continue down. I took sells, aggressive entry, got caught out, managed risk, and the trade play out. Now, if I'd held that position below this area, if I'd held that position, my target that I provided on the stream, which was, I think it was 144, 250 kind of area, down over here, right? This area here was reached. Yeah, first target was reached. The second target was also reached. So yesterday, I could have had a winning trade, could have been easy sells, secured a lot of profits, considering this move, I think, was around a 40 pip move. So we're talking about the first sell would have been taken 15, 14 pips secured. Second position would have been secured around 35 pips, you know, based on the targets that I had provided, based on the high time frames, based on everything I've seen happen before. And it's like, you know, I was sitting there thinking, like, I'm experienced in the markets. I've seen a lot of things happen. I've seen these breakouts happen time and time again. And why am I not catching them? And the only reason why is because I'm being way too cautious with my risk. You know, one 15-minute candle making me close 50%. You know, look what happened. Okay, even in this example, what I should have waited for, because the trend was heavy bullish, really, was I should have waited for the resistance, and then we would have caught this nice easy sell. Now that's absolutely great. Like, I think that's fantastic. That's what I should have waited for. But even if I did take sells over here, I mean, we were still closing below this area. We were still rejecting the top of this zone, you know. So there was no actual, despite, okay, one candle closing bullish, there was not actually a condition to say that we was gonna do a fake out. I know it looks like we could have done when we're in that mode and we see a bullish candle and the next one breaks the high, we automatically think, oh, we're coming back in the range. But we never did, and actually we continued down for 30 pips, you know. So I looked at my overall, so for January and February, and 85% of the time it ran to my targets, you know. 15%, so basically my overall January win-loss ratio was around 60% win, 40% loss in real terms, what I actually done, right? But if I would have stuck to holding the trade and going to targets, it would have been 16 wins and 3 losses, so 85% win rate. And I'm not talking about closing all out at 10 pips, I'm talking about 40 pips, 30 pips, 20 pips, 25 pip runners, and not even just runners, just targets, you know. So I think yeah, been kind of, yeah, I mean, it's not like I'm changing things completely, you know. I've always stuck to targets and where I want price to go and stuff, but I've never really truly used them to my full advantage. I mean, how many times are we like, oh, beautiful target hit, you know, and it's like you never got a piece of that pie because I closed risk, I managed risk too soon, and you know, you need to have trust in the analysis, you know, because we've seen these things happen over and over and over again. So yeah, that's what we're kind of going with here. And with that, man, it can work out so well. And I think if I try this new way out and, you know, it starts working, which I think is gonna, you know, the hardest part is training your mind to deal with the new scenarios. But by doing that, I think it's gonna, in the long run, it's gonna make a huge difference. And yeah, I mean, if it works out really well, then I can get back to my normal lot size, do it that way, and it will be, I think it'll be great. But in terms of the impulsive trades, the way that I would deal with impulsive trades is, let's say I'm taking a buy because we have a weak 15-minute candle. Let's say this 15-minute candle closes weak bearish, right? And then we're looking for buys and we want to break the high and continue on, right? What you would then do is you would then look at the, say like the 1 hour or the 30-minute time frame, and you would say, okay, granted we respect, let's say, the 30-minute, that idea makes sense, you know, because now we have to keep the stop loss based on a stronger confirmation candle because it's a riskier move, and we're trying to you know, play the target, you know, target area there. And you would then keep your stop loss based on a higher time frame candle. So like here, if I was taking a trade off to 15-minute, I'd keep the stop loss below the 15-minute candle, right? Because I'm like, oh yeah, expected pro to continue up. Higher probability me getting stopped out. Very hard to manage risk. Have to use the 5-minute. High chance that you're going to have to close 50%, blah, blah, blah. Whereas, if you wait for the 30-minute, the higher time frames, you can place stop loss. 95% of the time, it's not going to break the low. It's going to respect the low because it's a higher time frame, and it's going to continue in your direction. So yeah, I'm gonna try and do it. So I'm gonna collect the data from basically like even all the way back from like September, and truly see, you know, how I'd left all of those trades, what would have been the win ratio for every month, and there should be a consistent number there. You know, January might have been a better month this year, November might not have been, so you have to look at obviously all of it, but so far it looks like it's a very high probability. I mean, look at this, you know, if we spoke about if price closes back in the range and would continue up to 144.660, and then if we break above 144.660, then we have a clean buy at that point, coming up to 144.900. Yeah, but don't get me wrong, it's going to be weird, it's going to be different, but I think it's going to be better. Would you wait for impulsive buy on GJ or wait for close above 144.60? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Probably not an impulsive buy. Yeah, see, like based on the 1 hour, we created support, and that's why we had this 1 hour kind of moving bullish. But I had no wick to the top. If I had a wick, I would have taken buys. If this was any other situation and we had this 1 hour candle closing with a wick to the top, I would have taken buys. The only rule that I'm going to stick with is candles with no wicks. I just don't like it. I don't feel comfortable. I find a lot of the times they lose. So candles with no wicks, I'm just not going to take them. But yeah, so I'm going to do a few sims and then see how we come out. But yesterday's one went really well. I did a sim last night, did just Monday to Thursday, and it was pretty much 8% return doing it that way. Okay, so while we're waiting on GJ, let's take a look at gold. So looking on the daily on gold, seems as though we are trying to close back above this support over here on gold. So if we start to create support on the lower time frames, there's a probability at that point we can come back up to around 1860 and retest that resistance. Let's take a look on the 4 hour. Looking on the 4 hour, we had a support over here, and it does seem like we've created support back over here in the Asian session after making a high. So we're tapping into a resistance over here. This is also a rejection zone. So good buys based on the 4 hour is going to be above this area, because we have a clean range at that point based on the 4 hour time frame. Pardon me. Man, oh fuck it. Right, this area here, yeah. Let's take a look at the 1 hour. Yeah, so we're in a range at the moment on the 1 hour time frame. We can see price has created a support on the 1 hour time frame. So yeah, good buys are going to be above this area. This resistance is kind of neating this up from a 1 hour perspective. Yeah, I mean, if doing it the way that I said, I mean, the amount of wins that we would have on the stream would be obviously much better. Obviously, you guys can trade however you want, you know, but I think, you know, in terms of what's necessary, it would be necessary for me to adapt to, you know, get better. And like, it doesn't really make sense for me to continue what I'm doing if there's something that I could be doing better. So yeah, we're creating support over here in the 30 minutes. We're in this range. So yeah, good buys would be above 1847. And then, yeah, I think at least should reach this resistance right over here. 1850 would be a good target at that point. You know, and with magic keys, it's actually beautiful, because now with magic keys I can just set partial TP, partial stop loss, or put stop loss at entry, and I don't even have to do anything. You know, I don't even have to stare at it and see when to close out positions. I'm already putting, you know, partial TPs in place, so I know exactly where I'm getting out of the market, and it does it for me. It's gonna do it for me. So yeah, so for sells on gold, for sells, a break below the support, I mean, probably this area is going to be the most, it's going to be the target there for sells. It's like a 25 pip range. Yeah, no impulses over here today. Want solid buys above 144,660 for price to continue moving up. Okay, let's take a look at Euro NZD. So looking at the daily, yeah, exactly what I was thinking based on the daily, because the daily created a support over here. It kind of corrected this bearish candle, so the next one, if it breaks the high, should continue moving up. I think we should reach 1.68 thousand, I think that is. Let's take a look on the 4 hour time frame. Yeah, based on the 4 hour, I mean, we have this area over here that could cause some issues, but based on the most recent price action, we should come up to this resistance. Let's take a look on the 1 hour. So yeah, looking on the 1 hour, we had a little bit of a break of this resistance here. That was in the Asian session. We moved up, we created support, but right now we are at another resistance. So yeah, we have a clean range after this area. I mean, we have some issues, but I think it should reach this resistance zone. Let's take a look on the 30 minute. Yeah, we should be okay coming up to this area. Yeah, this would be the target if Euro NZD wants to continue bullish. So yeah, this would be the range at that point. It's like a 35 pip range. So we had to close at this resistance, but you would need a price to break above. Let's take a look at GJ. So GJ also closed below 144,660. So yeah, just gonna wait. Yeah, I need to stay. Yeah, I need to step away from, less aggressive entries and try and focus on better confirmation entries. But like at certain points, there's entries that can be taken, like the 15-minute and the smaller time frames. But like I said, keeping the stops based on candle confirmations, and not paying attention to 5-minute candles, etc. Just letting it do its thing. I already sold gold. GJ took out the buy stops in the Asian session. I'm seeing lower targets. Yeah, I mean, it could go lower, but I mean, I wouldn't be looking for sales until we were below 144, 400, maybe like a resistance, because the structure now is more bullish on the smaller time frames. I mean, if we were going to continue bearish, we would have respected the resistance that we created yesterday, and we would have continued further down, but we haven't. And if you take a look at the 4 hour, 4 hours is going to give you a lot of information here, because okay, let's do some analysis. So if we remove everything just for a sec, and you take a look at the 4 hour, right, and what you're going to see with the 4 hour time frame is that, okay, so this was an area of support that was created around 144, right, for price to continue higher. When we moved down yesterday, we tapped into that zone and we rejected it. We created support, right, and then we started 4 hour kind of started to move bullish. Okay, that's fine. So it's almost like a retracement. Now whenever price is moving down and it breaks below a support, which was this area right over here, we always say that it needs to respect that zone to continue moving down. So we would have needed a bearish 4 hour candle somewhere over here for this low to get retested, right? But it didn't. Asian session closed us back above this area, pull back to this previous support level, and now we have a 4 hour candle closing bullish. Okay, we now have a 4 hour candle closing bullish. So if we're creating support back above this previous support, there's a higher probability for us to continue moving up. The only other thing that we have to consider is that we have a resistance right over here. So it's not it's not that we're going to move up right now. It's not like price is going to definitely continue up in this 4-hour candle. But since this 4-hour candle is trying to close bullish, and if it does close bullish, which I think it should, then that means we're creating support back above this area. It means there's a higher probability for this area to break and then for this high to get retested. You know, and if I was to give you a look on the weekly, I spoke about on the weekend with the team, and you know, the retest of 144 could come, and we got the retest of 144. It's now Tuesday. If the weekly is flipping bullish, which it is, then that means that this could be another retest to continue higher. And if we break above these wicks, then the next stop based on the weekly is 145.700. That's the next stop based on the weekly. You know, if you look at the daily, right, the daily is about to break the previous daily high. We had a weak daily candle close bearish. If we break the daily high, then these wicks become the next destination, right? It's like if we break this low right over here, and you look left for sells, right? Let's drill that again. So if we break these wicks right over here, then this area becomes your destination. If we break above this high over here, these wicks become the next destination. You know, you gotta understand higher time frames, how they work, how they play out, and by knowing that and understanding that, then it's gonna help. You know, as well, if this daily candle does, let's say for some reason, decide to go bearish and the 4-hour can't close bullish, then this wick becomes a destination if we start to, let's say, break its own low. If the daily candle breaks its own low, then this wick becomes a destination. Then this area becomes the next destination. If we continue further, this area becomes the next destination. If we break below support, this wick becomes the next destination. You know, think about the higher time frames. Think about places that is likely for price to go to and gravitate toward, and they will be your destinations for price. Why the wicks when most of the volume is in the body of the candle? Well, it's not about that. Wicks are destinations. Wicks, okay, let's think about it like this from a 30-minute perspective. If we break above 144.660, where's the likely destinations? Well, we have this wick to fill up over here. You know, this is a range. This is an area where price went to. The reason why these wicks get filled on the higher time frames and in our destinations is because those wicks, right, is this area over here. This is that wick. This is resistance. This is where we're targeting on the smaller time frames. So the wicks become the destination. You know, even on the smaller time frames, when the wicks get filled, like, okay, let's take yesterday's sales for example. Right, let's take yesterday's sales for example. If we look over here, right, let's say, okay, this wick over here, this was a destination. We can see we came to this wick. This area, this support, these wicks over here was a destination. We came to this area. You know, you have to understand how the market moves. When we were moving bullish, we had a wick up over here. We had a clear rejection over here. We created support, we made structure, and these wicks became a destination. You know, you have to understand how the market moves. But yes, the thing about the body is where the daily candle closed. So the wick is the range that it reached, but the body is where it closed. So if we were to say daily candles, envision daily candles like this. Well, you can envision it because I'm going to draw it. So if this is one daily candle, and let's say it leaves a wick, right? Let's say it leaves a wick. It leaves a wick to the bottom, leaves a wick to the top. These are both technically destinations because this was the range that the daily candle went to, right? But let's say the next one's going to go bullish. Obviously, let's say it creates a little bit of a wick down and then starts to go up to fill the next daily wick. This was the destination. But what was the confirmation? If we take a look on, let's say, the smaller time frames at the 4 hour, you may find, we had a couple of bullish candles like this, right? And then the next situation is we might get like a pullback. So this could be the wick on the new daily candle, perfectly fine. And then we have a support formed. We get a support formed on the 4 hour time frame, and then the next one moves bullish as well, right? And then there you have, let's say, where the daily close, this is the wick being filled. So when you see the daily close somewhere over here, but it made a range over here, you're looking for, okay, we need support to form, we need smaller time frame zones to be respected in order for this wick to get filled, because this was the range. If it sells, this is the same thing. You would need resistance. So let's say we did create support over here. You would then want this support to break on the 4 hour for price to continue down, which would mean this bottom wick would get filled. So yeah, a little bit of insight there. Everybody make sure to like the stream as well. We've only got 6 likes. I just took a look. I was like, 6 likes? Man, we've got 50 people in here that come in here most days, and only 6 people like the stream? Come on. Come on, guys. You wouldn't be here if you didn't like it. So do me a favor. I come here every day for you guys, and drop a like on the stream, I really appreciate it. We've been slacking on the likes recently. Like yesterday's video, I had over 700 views, but 20 likes. And I was like, well, we had a good 80 people on yesterday at one point. So, yeah, I'd really appreciate it, guys, if everyone could drop a like on the stream. Yeah, that's it, Jason. I like the energy there. But we have a swing high with a lower low on both sides of the daily swing high, which indicates it's bearish, right? Are you talking about the actual daily time frame on GJ, or are you talking about the example that I drew? Because if you're talking about the actual daily, okay, so basically, despite the fact that this candle came lower, okay, you have to understand as well, although this wick is a what do you call it? It's a destination, right? That's correct. You also have to look at the candles and read the candles, right? Because over here, people would have said, okay, we're continuing down. But no. Although we broke the lows, we were making lower highs. Look at the structure. So over here, right? I'll tell you what. So over here, this here is what we would call a classic rejection. The reason why is it had a long range. And it tapped into a key level, and when we look left, we're going to understand this was a key level because this was a previous wick rejection area. So this is what you would call a retest. Once a resistance now becomes a deep support zone, which then indicates, because we have a rejection, and if this daily candle is going to go bullish and break the high, then these wicks become the destination, and it's a higher probability for it to continue moving up. In terms of the daily time frame, obviously the high, the low of the daily candle is obviously important, but you want to look at the bigger picture. Look at the structure, man. It's bullish. It's so heavy bullish. So if you think, okay, the structure is bullish, until you start seeing resistances being created, because look, daily candle is bullish. Daily time frame is bullish structure. Why can we identify that? Because even when we make resistance, we also create support, right? So every time we have a rejection, let's say over here, over here, over here. We then retrace a little bit, like over here, create support, retest, and break above. Resistance, retrace, create support, break above. Resistance, support, a little bit of a retrace, we can say, on this wick, break above. And then obviously then we made the high, made a resistance, retrace, support, up again. It's the same thing, you know, over and over again. This is pretty messy, but if you go like further down into the smaller time frames and stuff, it's going to be way more obvious. You know, the structure is going to be way more obvious. So, but yeah, I mean, you got the right idea in terms of the high and lows of the candle. But, I mean, you have to also read what the candle's trying to tell you. If you see a really long wick, but the body closed weak, you know, remember, the market is a battlefield. It's buyers versus sellers. You know, that means sellers tried to come right down, but buyers created that liquidity because there's a big wick. You know, even this bullish candle, right? It came all the way down to this area, but then retraced to close bullish, which suggests there was a lot of sellers in the market, but also now more buyers have come in. That's why there's a long wick. You know, there was a particular price level that buyers had that better premium, you know, so you have to think about those things. So yeah, we're just still kind of waiting over here, but those buys from like 8 a.m. were just perfect. Something I'm gonna jot down. Just the only thing I didn't like was that 15-minute with no, the 30-minute and the 15 with no wick to the top. Um, 23 likes. Is that all? 3 more people like the stream? Yeah, 23 likes. What's going on, guys? We can do better than that. We should be hitting at least, if we got 50 people on average, then I think we should be hitting at least 30 likes. Especially if you guys come here every day. Should be the first thing you do, like the stream. No, I'm joking. You do what you want, but I would appreciate it. HFX, was Paul your mentor? Yeah, I was part of Paul's group. I mean, yeah, yeah, you could class him as a mentor, 100%. But yeah, I mean, I think obviously when I came to Paul, I knew how to trade. Like, there wasn't anything kind of that I learned in terms of maybe like trading from Paul, but there was in terms of how to, you know, improve your trading in terms of, you know, from yourself, like self-review. That side of things, yeah, 100%. I like, you know, I never used to journal before I spoke to Paul, and I think as well, like, I wanted someone, and I wanted people to trade with. I was trading Asian session at the time. I was on my own. It was in the night time. It was very like dull and whatnot. So yeah, it seems like GJ, since we're breaking the high, can continue moving bullish, but I'm gonna stay away from.
Yeah, we're breaking previous daily high as well.
Yeah. Oh, looks like it's gonna continue moving up over here. Yeah, really, the buys should have been maybe over here, and then this is where you're anticipating this area to break and then continue. But to be honest, I'm gonna wait for this 30-minute candle to close because it's only got 10 minutes. So if the 30-minute candle closes above this area, then, you know, I can take a buy, keep a stop below the previous 30-minute, and then expect price to continue moving up. Because we have this wick rejection here as well, you know, I'm gonna probably want to wait for a stronger confirmation at that point. Yeah, so yeah, Paul, he got me into the whole like journal. I never can say it properly. Journaling my trades, and then once I started doing that, I started to see things that I didn't quite notice before. You know, I wasn't really reviewing things properly. But yeah. Okay, thank you HFX for entertaining my questions. Yeah, no problem. That's what we're here for. You know, we're here to help people. We're here to learn. We're here to help the community. So yeah, you know, if anybody needs my help, I'm always there. You know, people know. But the one thing I hate is when people ask stupid shit. That's what I hate. You know, like yesterday, again, I had 2 more people message me saying, oh man, I want to join HFX Trading. How do I sign up? So I'm like, oh, go to the website. They're like, oh, where's the website? So I said, all right, I'll give you the website. Gave him the website. And then he said, okay, how long till I get paid? And I was like, oh man, here we go again. I was like, what do you mean, how long till you get paid? He said, oh, don't you guys pay out weekly? I'm like, man, you've got the wrong place. Can you not read? You want to make money and you can't even read that this is a Forex trading group. This is a mentorship scheme. This is an educational service. This guy had to scroll down, go past all the information to say these things. It's just like, man, come on. You know, those type of people, they pee me off, but I just have to block it out. Drive me mad. Trust me, honestly. And then I don't know if it was the same guy just trying to wind me up, because maybe he could tell I was a little bit rattled by his stupidity. But I then had another guy 20 minutes later on a different account come out with something similar. So I just said, no, you can't. You can't join. And he was like, why can't I join? I was like, because, do you even know what this is? He said, yeah, this is HFX Trading. I said, nope, this is not HFX Trading. This is HFX Trading Group. This is for Forex. You're at the wrong place, and you want to make money in the financial markets, and you can't even read and make sure that what you're about to invest your money into is the right thing. I mean, come on. It's just, yeah, it's incredible, but you know what? It is what it is. No, I'm being serious. I mean, you guys want to see the amount of messages. It does my head in. I get the, obviously I got a contact us thing on my page. And the reason why I do that is because obviously if anybody has any questions or more, or you know, because all the information that anybody needs to know about what they get is all on my website. You know, I detail the webinars that you get, I detail the education that you get, I detail everything. And the contact us page is really just for those that maybe want, you know, like a little bit more like, okay, well, you know, I don't know, a specific question that is, you know, it means they've read the information and maybe there's something that they're unsure of, or maybe they're like, okay, well, you know, do whatever, right? It's just something simple question that I can answer it, and they're gonna be like, okay, that's fine. I know everything I need to know now. I can make a decision whether this mentor is right for me. Fine, perfect, exactly what I want. You know, there's no obligation to do anything. You know, you read the information and you decide whether it's right for you. End of story. But there are those that want to message me and scroll past everything on the website, not even bother reading it, and they want to ask dumb shit like, can I make money? Can I do this? I want to learn options trading. And I'm like, man, you're not even going to do well at options trading, because options trading is fucking hard and you can't even read a website. And you want to read the market? Wow. Good luck, my friend. You might as well go give that money to someone who can do better things with it, because you are a just moron. But yeah, enough rant about the morons. But I have to rant about it sometimes, because otherwise I just want to put, I even was like last night, right, do I just put on a website, this is not options trading? I generally was close to putting, this is not options trading. I swear, I was so close to doing it. Literally, I just have a big fat, it's not even HFX Trading Group. This is not this is not options trading. Seriously, it is getting beyond the joke. Um, did anyone sound just bug a bit, or is it just me? It might have been because like, I moved the headset a little bit, but obviously you guys need to let me know if there's any headset problems or anything, you know, then we can rectify it fairly quick. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't take no impulsive buys. Look at that. Paul did a good job. Raja tries to destroy anyone that trades different. I wouldn't say that. I would say he tried to I think he tried to destroy people who, I don't know, like let's say they trade a certain way, they make out it works really well, but really they got no evidence to back it up. They got no proof. They got no like track record, you know. Those type of people, oh yeah, he bashes the shit out of them. And, you know, someone's got to do it because this industry is so tainted with, you know, like fake people, fake profits, you know, mentors that, you know, grab courses free off the internet and repackage and sell it, you know. Like that type of shit is just dumb. And those type of people, they're just fake and con artists, really, at the end of the day. But yeah. That's it. But yeah, no, he does rip them, but it's good. I mean, I personally would never bother, you know, even commenting on what someone else's does really, because at the end of the day, like, people recognize realness. People recognize, you know, obviously everyone uses the word value, but people recognize someone that's legit. You know, when you go on a website and you look at, like, let's say trainers, and you're like, this website seems a little bit dodgy. The money's, the price is too good to be true. You know, it doesn't really seem right. You know, something doesn't seem right. You know, only the dumb people that always want to save money and think, oh yeah, I can get a pair of Nikes for 25 quid, even though you go to any retail shop, minimum you're paying 90. Right, let them be the fools. Or the designer gear where they're like, yeah, we can get £1,000 coats for £200, and it's like, oh yeah, I want some of that. Great, let the fools flock to them. You know, it's the same with the courses. They don't understand. They see these Fibonacci's and they're like, oh yeah, this looks mad. This guy knows how to read the markets, man. It's like, yeah, let the fools flock to wherever, you know, because the people are gonna recognize, you know, the realness, and they're gonna see, you know, maybe not even necessarily me, but other people, you know, who have a good track record and all the other things there, you know, they're gonna look at them and they're gonna be like, wow, you know, this guy trades live. He shows his evidence. He shows this. He has daily webinars. You know, he shows all access to what's inside his group. You know, there's transparency there. You know, that's the ultimate situation. Any trade HFX? No trades at the minute. I'm waiting for this 30-minute candle to close. If we can close above 144.660 in a minute and a bit's time, I think we could have good buys to continue bullish. We may get a bit of a pullback, but then this was a little bit of a pullback here on the 8:30 candle. So if this 15-minute, so it can close above, I think there's a very high chance at that point for price to continue moving bullish. But we really need this 30-minute candle to close above, and then we would be targeting up over at 144, 890, 880 at that point for buys. But we really need a candle to close above this area. If it can't close above, then there's no buys. I'll come back and we wait. I got a dislike. It's probably that guy. It's probably the guy that I told about the HFX trading. I swear. It's gotta be him. Who comes on the stream to dislike it? Oh, we're gonna close above here in a few seconds time. Beautiful. Beautiful. I got in buys. So stop is gonna be below the previous 30-minute candle. It's gotta let it do its ting. Yeah, who comes on the stream, man, to dislike it? Just stupid shit, man. So beautiful. We've broken above 144,660, which is the exact area that we spoke about buys all day in the Asian session yesterday. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna we want partial TP. Is that what we want? So we want partial TP.
Yeah, I'm in these two. Maybe it would have been wise to wait for the 1 hour to pull back a little bit because it's just open. But
That's all right.
if it respects the support level here, we should just have a small bottom wick.
Yeah, I think as long as we should be fine. We should be fine. We had the bullish bias. We had a little bit of a pullback, right? You know, the 30-minute candle closed above. The 15-minute candle also, you know, created support over here, closed above this area. So I'm fairly confident that we should continue moving up. I mean, we waited for this candle to break above this area. We have these wicks to fill, and yeah, I think it should be good. So I'm going to set the other partial TP. Always partial TP. Oh, they only let you do one?
Think so, yeah.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I've only managed to do one. I think you do a partial stop loss at the same time.
Oh well. So yeah, just gonna let this play out over here. Yeah, we could see a bit of a pullback with the 1 hour, but I mean, if you look at it, this is the area that needs respecting. So we could, you know, retrace into like the 144,620s area, but that's perfectly fine. You know, as long as you create a little bit of a bottom wick and then break the high of the previous 30-minute, we should continue moving on. Okay. You can't fix stupid. Yeah, I know. That's pure lazy. Yeah, they're lazy. That's ridiculous. Yeah, I know. I know these. I know it's annoying it's annoying, but it is what it is. It is what it is. I come from capital hungry, but I like HFX. He is a great trader. I appreciate that, A-Rod. I appreciate that a lot.
Since I quite like how the 15-minute had that pullback. So I've been looking at my recent trades, and normally I've been getting caught out in that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But now it's happened. We should be alright.
Oh, 100%. I mean, yeah, we waited for a stronger confirmation trade today. You know, we could have waited for the impulse, and then it wouldn't. You know, we would have sat in a bit of drawdown and whatnot. So, since we got the pullback, we closed in above 144,660. We spoke about these buys. You know, I've planned these buys. You know, this is the buys that were planned. The 4 hour is now breaking above this area here. We got 50 minutes for this 4 hour, and since it's breaking above, you know, we could have volume coming up. You know, at this point, so we're just kind of, yeah, I think it should be good. But obviously, the ultimate area I would have liked to have taken buys would have been down over here. Back once we started to close back above this area, but I'm not gonna focus on the noise. I'm just gonna, you know, try and let this play out. Get used to letting it play out. Not really focusing on the drawdown or anything like that. It's gonna help me gravitate towards how I want to go forward. So sorry, A-Rod. Oh, so yeah, thanks, A-Rod. Appreciate it. Uncle Ted is the king, hands down. Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. I'm completely new here. Just saw your live stream pop up on my feed. Do you stream every day? Yes, we stream every day, Monday to Friday. The Forex community is crazy. I've seen some of the smartest people I've ever seen, yet some of the dumbest I've ever seen. Yeah, I think that's just all industries. you have your people that know their stuff and they make money, and you know they've grinded through the markets, and then you have your dumbasses. You have your dumbasses. When will you decide to move your stops under the current candle, assuming the break of the previous candle wick high? Probably won't until I'm like safely into profits, really. Probably once we are maybe around 144, 800, something like that. When we're around this area, probably go like break even. So where is 10 pips? I mean, 10 pips is going to be around yeah, it's kind of around this wick fill. So I mean, I'll probably go break even around 10 pips, or maybe even bring stops below the current candle at 10 pips. But I don't particularly want to like move my stop loss. I just want to kind of let this play out. Let it do its thing, you know. And I'm not paying attention to like 15-minute candle closing bearish or whatnot. Have to try and let the analysis play out. Let's take a look. Euro NZD is just ranging. Gold ranging. You know, because even if we respect this area and we start to create support, you know, there's still good confirmation for us to continue moving up. But I mean, yeah, we spoke about these buys for a while. We've waited now a couple of hours. Well, not a couple of hours, but I have. Yeah, the reason I was late to the stream this morning was because for some reason my computer likes to do updates, and not just the computer but anything likes to do updates just before I start the stream. So this time it was Streamlabs wanted to do an update, so I couldn't even stream till I had the Streamlabs update. So what can I do? When were you? Oh, yeah, we've answered that. How many we got? We've got 65 people on the stream here today, so hopefully we're gonna see 65 likes, eh? We should see 65 likes. No, I'm joking. Nah, but we should see a few likes. Come on, people, like the stream. If you enjoy the analysis, if you enjoy the commentary, if we've helped you with one thing, it's your way of giving back. Liking the stream.
I mean, your follower count's gone up quite good though, like 10 a day.
What's that? On
your subscriber count.
Oh,
on,
yeah.
YouTube, yeah.
Oh, 100%. Subscribers goes up every day, but the likes just always stay the same. Followers on Instagram, I get loads a day as well. Them. Do you stream MY session? No, I don't stream MY session. Yeah, I mean, we could see this candle wick down a bit because obviously, you know, we had this wick over here, but I am really anticipating, you know, within the next hourly candle for us to continue bullish. So I'm happy to let this play out, to be completely honest. The other thing as well is we usually get a decent push with the 4 hour. Now, I don't see any chance of this 4-hour candle flipping back bearish or anything like that. So I mean, I think there's a good chance of us continuing bullish. How will you manage this trade? I will probably just let it do its thing, to be honest. I mean, I've got stops in position. You know, we shouldn't be breaking this low if we're going to continue higher. You know, this is we had a pullback on the smaller time frames. You know, we're closing above. I think we should continue moving up. Even if this candle closes bearish, I'm not going to take anything off. If the next one breaks a low, still not going to take anything off. You know, I think I'm going to try and see if, you know, this is going to play out here. So, yeah, I mean, just kind of wait and make sure candles are closing above. I mean, the only way we'd manage it is if the 30-minute candle closed back in the range, then I'm closing everything at that point because, yeah, there's no reason for me to hold that. It makes no sense. But I mean, we close above this area and we discuss these buys. And if you was here from the start of the stream, I discussed how I'm going to take a slightly new approach to trading. Probably more so from next week, but yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think looking back in today's session, the ideal buys I would have liked would have been around 144.520, 144.518. The only issue is the candle with no wick to the top, but then again, it did close back in the range. We spoke about the higher time frame support resistances, so a lot kind of made sense, you know, for 144.660 to get reached, which we did speak about. We did speak about that for a while, and then obviously we did speak about if we break above 144.660, then the next target at that point would be 144.890. So are we coming up to break the high on the 30-minute? If we do, then it's pretty good. Yeah, let's break that wick. We've broken the wick. Beautiful. So I think now, hopefully, as the volume's kicking in, we should start to continue moving up. Obviously, we can have issues in this area, which I know that, but these issues are going to be on the smaller time frames. You know, this is going to be a clean move on the higher time frames, on the 30-minute, the 1 hour. So, I mean, if this 4 hour just runs up, that's going to be amazing. Going to be truly amazing.
It's always nice to see the first like 5-10 minutes, you know, like creating that bottom wick,
yeah,
and then
moving
and
into
it should push up quite nicely.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, I'm looking forward to next week being able to lower the lot sizes and really see a whole week of testing it out, leaving positions to run. You know, taking my time, focusing less on managing. See, the only way I'd manage the trade is if the 30-minute closes back in the range, because then it would be a fake out, you know, and then it would become very difficult, you know, so that's the other thing. But yeah, I think next week should be good. Probably do like maybe 2 lots, maybe 1 lots, and then go from there. Because then a whole week of that, and it goes really well, then man, come the week after that, boom, we're in back to the 5 lots. And I think we should start to see huge differences in the trading. So yeah, remember these wicks, they become destinations. We spoke about this. These wicks become destinations. I think to start with, I think we're at least going to tap within this area. This is the zone, so it's kind of like over here. We should reach over here. You might see a little bit of a pullback, a little bit of a wick, and then the next one should drive further bullish. Hey, I'm in buys too. It should be it. Beautiful, Dan. Nice. Yeah, I mean, it's always nice to just see a trade go into profits, because when the trade does go into profits, you know, like that is when you can, I mean, I don't want to manage it, but like that's when you can start to look at, okay, well, maybe since I'm in profits, I don't want to be taking a loss. And then I can look at that and be like, okay, is there a way of me also reducing losses based on that? You know, candles going into profits, price going into profits, and then making sure from there we don't kind of want it to reverse. Few people in buys. Yeah, nice. Yep. So I think the 15-minute candle closed. It closed like a strong bullish. So I mean, yeah, we can't. We just gotta wait. I mean, the 30-minute candle is still open. Remember that. You know, it can come back to this area. That's fine. But we're just gonna let it do its thing. Gonna let price do its thing over here, because we have 1 hour candle breaking the highs. We have the 4 hour is still open. Yeah, it'd be nice if we could just run all the way up, to be honest. That would be obviously the best case scenario, but it doesn't always happen that way. But yeah, looking back, this 1 hour candle was just beautiful for buys.
Especially after like liquidity grab. You see on the 30, that fake out.
Without a doubt. Yeah, I mean, since we can see like these candles, they had a lack of volume. This move may be slower. You know, we're not all, it's GJ. You know, it wasn't always gonna be big pumps, but I think we should continue. It'll be a slow grind because we have, you know, these wicks, this rejection area. But since we're closing above and higher time frames are bullish, yeah, I think we should see nice clean candles at that point. Oh, so what I could do, Kelsey, is obviously if I have my partial stop loss, right, that means it's going to take out whatever percent I want at a certain level, and then you just have another TP, just normal TP for the rest,
Yeah.
and then that's when it will just take out whatever's left on the position basically there.
You can literally go to the gym, come back, still be in the trade, still be running.
Yeah, exactly. And I can go make a drink while being in a trade.
Yeah, true.
You got to remind them to like. People don't usually remember. Yeah, come on guys, like the stream. Even if we win or lose, it doesn't matter. You have to stick to your own plan. Well, we got 44 likes. That's more like it. That's more like it. That's much better. Yeah, I want to try and focus less on these smaller time frames while we're in the trade. You know, just let it do its thing. Yeah, we got 1.32 subscribers. 1.32 thousand. I think we're going to do another giveaway at 2K. 2,000 subscribers, we're going to do another giveaway. So yeah, my one condition for this trade is we need price to stay above 144,660. If we can't stay above 144,660, then yeah. If we close back below, then we will need to manage the trade, because then this move up would be a fake out, right? But right now we are staying above 144,660, so we will continue to hold. Feels weird, like it feels weird, like looking at it differently, you know. I'll be so focused on like, oh right, how do I manage risk, how do I manage risk, but here I'm just like, you know, chill, let it do its thing. Kind of feels better, you know, even feels nicer, because it's like in the back of your mind, you know, even if you lose, you still have like a percentage ratio in your favor, you know. And if you focus on that, then that's the most important thing. How many pips did we have? I don't think it was a lot. I think it was like 4 or 5, wasn't it? Yeah, like 5.5. Even if we create support over here, you know, this is the point. See, this is what I would love, because if 80% of the time, 85% of the time, my analysis is correct, and let's say we're in buys and we're just a little bit early and we get caught because there's a couple of candles closing above this area, but they close in bearish, whatnot, you know, and then we get a support form. That's just beautiful, because then, you know, you can almost add positions at that point to increase your profitability. But obviously I'm not going to do that today. Boom, 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 boom. We've got 8 minutes left. Yeah, we need price to stay above 144.660. We do need that. That we do need. Likes fly up when you're in a trade. No, I think that's just the views. The views go up when I'm in a trade, but the likes, they always seem to stay the same. We've got 53 likes. That's better. That's a good amount. You're out. You're out of the trade. Well, yeah, I mean, it's up to you. I can understand why. But I have to let this position, well, I have to let this 30-minute candle close anyway, because otherwise it's not, you know, it doesn't mean that we are rejecting yet. But yeah, just wait for this candle to close, I suppose. I think it's also maybe a little bit of like lack of volume. But as long as we stay above 144.660, then I think we're good to continue higher without a doubt. Because usually I find in the last 30 minutes of the 4 hour you get volume. That's what I've seen anyway. A lot of times I've seen a lot of volume coming in like the last 30 minutes of the 4 hour. 5 minute broke previous low. Yeah, see, that's what I mean. I want to be so much less fixated on that. I want to be more fixated on, you know, letting the 30-minute do its thing, and, you know, that's what I want to be more focused on. Because I can get smaller losses, because if this 30-minute closes back in the range, then I know this trade is not valid, because it makes no sense to hold buys at that point. We're back in the range, we're just ranging, so I close the position. You know, let's say it closes, I don't know, somewhere over here. We can get out at 6 pips, that's fine. You know, it would be pretty much the same as if I'm closing 50%, 50%, 25%, whatever. But allowing it to run also, you know, gives you the opportunity to let it price run in your direction. You know, the only time is you're going to feel that is when it comes straight down to its stop loss. But, I mean, that's not going to happen all the time. And, you know, as long as I keep a strict, you you know, target ratio, whatever, then it can work. So like right now, my condition for the buy, which is you know, the most important thing, is that this candle respects 144,660. That is my condition. If it can't, if it does close back in the range, then it's just like one of those, you know, it's just one of those that didn't play out today. But we got plenty of time for this candle to do its thing, you know. Last 4 minutes, a lot can happen. It's just retesting on the 1 hour previous resistance as support. Should be good to push up to 700 and pass the wick. Yeah, I'm hoping so. Yeah, looking on the 1 hour, yeah, this was an area we need to retest, so 100%. But that's the thing, we just need price to stay above this area, and then all that idea completely makes sense. But looking back, man, I mean, I should have been in buys right over here. I mean, if this candle had a wick, 100%, I would have rid this candle all the way up, and it would have been easy peasy buys. You know, and then this is all runners. This is all target for your, you know, extra profits. That's what I want to be able to get into that point. You know, understanding. Three minutes left. And if this candle can close bullish, even better. That'd be real nice if this candle can close bullish. Looks like a liquidity grab on the 15. Man, if this 15-minute candle flips, wow. If the 15-minute candle flips, that is, then that's a liquidity grab, and that usually indicates that we could have some volume. Or let's say the 15-minute candle closes like a weak bearish, and then this 30-minute closes bullish. That also indicates that the next one should continue with volume. But we've got 2 minutes here. Let's say if happen to close in the range, 30-minute, can we sell as a fake out? I think that's a bad idea. I think selling as a fake out is a bad idea. I think that's a bad idea. Like, yes, there's a probability. There's always a probability that, you know, a fake out's going to work out. But the trend is heavy bullish. So probably it's just going to range. What I would say is if we fake out and then create resistance, then yes, that makes sense for price to continue down, right? But not just purely based on the fake out. I would say that's not a good idea. I want to neaten up this zone at this point because we have a better support area. Yeah, it would be sells below 144,400. That would be your area for sales. So we've got a minute left for this candle to close. I mean, it seems like it's going to respect 144,660. So, I mean, that's the most important thing. To be honest. Man, I'm dying for a drink. Yeah, last 30 seconds is usually where it's going to choose its direction. So if we close back below 144,660, then yeah, probably going to close the trade at that point. But as long as we can stay above. But then we're still closing above this minor resistance. Let's just see how it closes. We can decide from there. Okay, so the candle closed bearish, but it did close above 144,660. So I'm still holding at this point because we still have 30 minutes of the 1 hour left as well. So yeah, it could just be a little bit of a pullback. But if we break the high of the previous 30-minute, I think that's when we're gonna see a little bit of a blast off. I'm regretting getting out of my trade low. Can I give it a second chance? That's up to you. That's completely up to you. That literally is completely up to you. I can't tell you whether you can give your trade a second chance. That's for you to look at your risk, see if you're over risking by giving it a second chance, if you want to give it a second chance, if it fits your plan to give it a second chance. You know, that's up to you. That, my friend, I cannot tell you. I'm afraid. So we've got 80 people in the building here right now. So we should see 80 likes, right? 56 likes. That's pretty good. Pretty nice. Oh, we're moving up over here. If we break the high, I think we could be off to. Oh, we've broken the high on the 30-minute time frame. So yeah, I think we should be good to continue moving up bullish. I believe we should be good to be continue moving bullish. Beautiful. I'm up about 6 pips over here. I've got my partial TP set ready to secure me some profits. And then I've got my overall TP up over at my target at 144,900. You know, if we're moving up in the first 3 minutes and breaking the high, there could be a lot of volume coming into this candle, which will be beautiful because it's coming up to the 4-hour close. It's coming up to the 1-hour time frame. You know, obviously I'm cautious of this wick, which is kind of where my TP is anyway. But there we go. So we're just going to let price do its thing. And since we've broken the high, we should be continuing bullish. You know, if we was to flip and break the low, like, it's very, very unlikely. That'll be a huge rejection if it was to do that. But based on the candle structure, I mean, yeah, I think we should continue moving up. Man, this is what I mean. GJ is just one of those, man. It just pushes, retraces. Yeah, it's a tough situation, but gotta let it do its thing because that's just kind of like a volume issue. Anyway, let's take a look at EN. See if EN's doing anything. No, just still ranging. GU also tried to move bullish, so I think GU can continue moving bullish also. Yeah, GU, awesome. Continue moving up. Just needs to create support or break the high of the previous candle. EN, Euro JP. Oh, look at Euro JPY sales played out. GJ. Yeah, it's just kind of there, isn't it? It's just kind of there. But yeah, I mean, we should see some volume in this 30-minute candle. Have patience, my friends. I want to get a win here today. I want the win as bad as you. How many pips did we have when that moved up? We're like 7. Oh yeah, because I got a pip spread. EU moving back to downside. I don't look at EU, but Euro USD is hard, man. Euro USD is fucking tough. Like, that's a tough pair to trade. So hats off to anybody who trades EU. I'll give you that one. Here we go. Is this GJ? Is this gonna be GBP JPY? Beautiful.
It actually, I closed half as a 15-minute low was broken. But I mean, this would be an extra confirmation if it does head up that it should be held.
Yeah, don't worry. Do what you do, and then, you know, on the side also look at how you can improve. But
Exactly.
I think come back next week with maybe a slightly different approach. But you always want to, you know, we always talk about managing risk, and that's also very important. So, but for me, I needed to test my idea, have the confidence, and, you know, grow a pair of balls and hold this position. And yeah, I think we should see a real nice push. I think we're going to see a nice push. Yeah, beautiful. We're moving up over here. Going to be close to securing some profit soon. Couple more pips and we are right there. I'm up about 7 and a bit. Yeah, I think we should definitely reach 144.800. 144.800 we could 100% reach. We have these wicks. This is obviously another resistance, and then the ultimate 144.880. Yeah, we're eating today, boys. We should be eating today, boys and girls. Sorry, no sexism around here. GJ needs to start moving like it used to in the London sessions, where we just get them boom, 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 you know, where it just runs up like a rocket. That's what we need. That's what we need here today. Beautiful. We're moving 144.678, 144.6770. Yeah, a little bit more, and we're securing positions. We have stops moving. Yes, patience pays, off she goes. Yeah, it's looking good at the moment. We're up about 8. Well, I'm up about 8, so there's no reason to do anything. You know, we left the trade, we spoke about it. Oh, I'm up about 9, sorry. Just a little bit further. Come on, GJ, Stop stalling us. Stop taking the mic. It's literally there. Here we go. Can we get 144.800? Gonna have to do a Roger Banks on it. Can we get a 144.800? Can I get a 144.850? 144.775. I love how he does that. That is class.
It's great, isn't it?
Yeah, it's funny, man. Cracks me out every time. Right, we're nearly there. We're approaching. Beautiful. Come on, GJ. Lovely. So we had partial TP hit, and we are continuing to move up over here. Oh, what? It took me out. Full thing. I put partial TP.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it took...
Oh, no.
Oh, damn it. What's going on? Oh, you're joking me. I put partial TP. Maybe that, you know what it is? Maybe because I put the other TP up at 144.900, it took out my full thing. But I put... oh well. Oh well, we done good profit today. Oh well, yeah, I secured everything at 10 pips. Fuck it, because at least
I've got a small runner now.
Yeah,
With
beautiful.
what I've got left.
We're moving up over here. What a beautiful trade. So I mean, yeah, we'll just say we would have put stops to break even and let it run. But fuck, man, that closed me out everything at 10 pips. Shit. Well, look, at least I'm back in profit for the week, so that's a bonus. And I finally had some bollocks to hold the trade, so yeah, fuck it. It's a win. It's a win.
It's a big day.
Yeah, it's a good day. So if you caught this trade, guys, drop a like on the stream and drop a W in the chat. Let's see how many people caught these buys here today. We spoke about buys all day above 144.660, and we caught those buys here today. So beautiful, beautiful.
And I was suffering with this trade, seriously.
Yeah, this was one of those like profit, drawdown, profit, drawdown, profit, drawdown. But yeah, now good.
Finally, we
good.
got some nice volume.
Yeah, we got some nice volume. We had a nice trade here today. The analysis played out to a T. You know, it called out 144,800 would be a great target. Oh, look at that. Nice people grab it. Oh, beautiful. Loads of people grabbing wins. That's what I like to see. So yeah, if you
62 likes.
Yeah, beautiful. If you caught a like on the stream, if you caught a win on the stream, drop a like on the stream. And obviously my target would have been 144,880 for a second TP there. That's where I would have secured more profits to maximize the win. But there you go. Beautiful, man. Absolutely 10. I think the target's going to be reached here. Oh, look at that. GJ.
Yeah, I've literally just closed out on the runner.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's a very small runner though, but still come out of profit.
Yeah, that was a beautiful trade. We got our volume back, guys. We've got our volume back for the London session. Fantastic. Really happy with that. Oh, look at that. TP would have been smashed. 144,880, 144,890, 144,900. Beautiful. Man, look at that. It's still going. Wow. Man, that is so annoying that it took me out. I thought you could do multiple TPs.
Well, if you have your other TP, if you have your like partial TP set before your actual TP, then your actual TP will stay on.
That's what I did though, and it didn't do that. So I had partial TP at 11 pips, and then 10 pips, and then I had the full TP, which I thought would take out the other position at 144,890.
Oh well.
Yeah, it is an oh well. I had a win, so I'm happy with that. I'm really happy with that. But ultimately, that was frustrating because I could have done around 600 here today, because that's like a 20 pip move. So because you know what, I had only 50% to be secured at 10 pips, so the other 50% would have ran to 20 pips, so around 18 pips. So we're talking like 750 I would have done on this trade here today, but I done around 400 and something. Closed me out at 10-11 pips. But yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, a win's a win, so we'll just take that forward. But I can't wait to be able to try this new style of mine, and yeah, I think it's going to work out really well. Especially if we have another win tomorrow, that would just be great. But yeah, beautiful. Really, really nice. Thank you, Salim. Appreciate it. Yeah, everyone's eating today, and it's still going. We talk about the TP, and it's still running. I mean, where's next for GJ? I mean, based on the 4 hour, I mean, 950's coming, and then I mean, I'd say 145. Yeah, 145. I think if we reach 145 today, shit, man, that's gonna be a big move. That's just real nice. And then imagine if you got in buys over here. You know, and then I spoke about, you know, obviously the TP. First TP was over here, 13 pips. Second TP would have been a 35 pip runner. Man, that's just crazy. Yeah.
Makes a big difference to when you trade the trend. I mean,
Oh, 100%.
yeah.
100%. Yeah, like sells this morning, could have taken sells, was not interested, you know, wanted to wait for solid confirmations for any sells, and yeah, we wait for the buys, and just, yeah, it's just still running, it's still going. I mean, this 30-minute candle was only halfway through. I mean, wow. This could go, yeah, I think 145 is coming up over here. It's only there. Wow, what a move. What a move. Yeah, that's just great. What else was we gonna say? Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Have we had 13 people? As soon as I win, they left the stream. They took their money and they pissed off. No, I'm only joking. Well, there was 13 people, but I'm only joking.
That's business, man.
Yeah, that's how it goes. That's how it goes. Yeah, that's awesome. Oh, Foe, you missed the trade? Damn. Oh well, bro. There's always tomorrow, man. Don't worry. Don't worry, bro. It's all good, man. I've been there before myself. I've missed plenty of moves. That's how it goes. But yeah. Oh man, if 145 comes in today, that would be great. And what a way to end the stream as well. We're gonna end the stream here in like 15 minutes. Beautiful, beautiful. Oh, 144, 950 is coming up. Those wicks to the left. I've already reached that now. Wow, it's just going to keep on going. It's still going. Oh, look at that. Harmon's just joined after the trade has been taken. Man. Yes. Was there any fundamental... No, just pure technicals, bro. Technicals aligned with the higher time frames. The trade was discussed. Buys above 144, 660. Target was provided. Fantastic. Great strategy. I like trading like this. Think it can be a lot more profitable than before. Yeah, exactly. Like, it can be a lot more profitable in the long run. That's the point. Obviously today was a little bit different because I basically got stopped out. I got taken out of the trade earlier than I would have liked. So my plan was securing profits at 11 pips. So 10, 11 pips, which is basically, yeah, somewhere over here around 786 for me, because obviously 11 pips is 10 pips on MT5 because of the spread. You have around pip spread, and then I wanted to leave the rest of the position to run to 144, 880. Oh, look at this. 145 is incoming 100% here. 145 is incoming. Wow. I think London... Do you know what? The good thing is, I think London sessions volume is coming back. It's coming back, which means next week should be a great week on the stream. Stay tuned next week, because what I'm going to try and do next week is take down the lot size a little bit, but really try and let positions run. Really try and get these targets to go. Look at that. 145 is about to be... 145 is about to be tapped. Imagine if you held full position, man. It's like 30 pip candle right over there. And then, do you know what's funny though? It does make me laugh about price, the way it moves. Like, think about these candles, right? We were closing above, and the way this candle was moving, you would have thought there was just shit volume again, and we were just gonna consolidate. And I was like, oh, I've got to hold it basically. And then this one candle just out of nowhere just goes boom. Man, crazy. Holding runner to 145,500. Oh damn, yeah, that's nice. That's real nice. Because I think secure something at 145 though, because 145 is a key psychological level. You have to remember that. So as soon as price makes a higher high than it has done, you know, let's say over the last few days, there's always that point that there could be an initial pullback. And the reason why is because this is the point where, you know, institutions or even traders are taking out longer term positions, because it's in, you know, unprecedented territory. Yes, you have information to the left, but this was previous information. Like at the moment, you have to understand, when assets or currencies are moving up, you know, there's always profit taking levels, and every new psychological level where price reaches, like we haven't reached 145 since like February, whenever, like last year or 2 years ago, right? So for us to reach this area, this is where a lot of profit taking can be done. 145 is last year's high. Oh, we've reached 145. We've reached 145. Wow. So I would maybe secure something here and then leave your last piece of the pie to run to 144. Sorry, 145, 500. That's how I would do it. But it's up to you. If 4 hour closes above, could be a continuation during MY. Yes. I think for MY, you need a support to form for price to continue. You would need a support to form. So beautiful. GJ still continuing up. I mean, yeah, next up is 145, 500. I mean, based on the weekly, if we take a look at the weekly, yeah, I mean, 145, 700 even, based on the weekly. Based on the daily, yeah, 145, 700, based on the 4 hour. Yeah, based on the 4 hour, 145, 47, 500, yeah. 145, 500 is going to be, and then, or even this area, but probably to be a little bit more conservative over there. But man, this is still going. Still going. So yeah, let's do a little round off here before we call it a day. Bro, wasn't 145, 765 something to consider? Let's take a look. 144, 765. 144, 765. Yes and no. The reason why yes is because there is some rejections over here. There was this wick as well. So yeah, but at the same time, when you look at the price action and when you actually read what's going on, this was resistance. This was resistance over here. And you can see how these candles, although they were like tapping into this area, the move down started from this zone. We can see how this candle, this bullish candle, tapped into this area. The next one also tried to go up. So this kind of wick area was always going to be a target. So I mean, how you could do it is something you could say, okay, I'm going to secure profits here in this zone, secure something here, and then close the rest when we reach the top. That's a good way of doing it. That's perfectly fine. But I mean, for me, the way I read it, the other thing as well is that on that, despite the 30-minute being you know, a little bit messy, the 1 hour was clean. So as you look on the 1 hour, you could say, okay, well, this was a rejection area, so we could have some issues at 760. But basically, once we break this wick, it's a clean move on the 1 hour. You know, it's a clean move on the 1 hour, and we had a clean candle on the 1 hour. You know, on the 30-minute, it was a little bit more messy, but based on the 1 hour, it was a clean move because we had a clean move on the 1 hour. You know, on the 4 hour, it's the same thing. We had a clean moves on the 4 hour. We had a clean move on the 4 hour. A little bit messy on the 30-minute, a teeny bit messy on the 30-minute. Even messier on the 15, messier on the 15. 5-minute, messy. 5-minute, pretty messy. Same sort of aspect. But we are still going over here. So this trade is currently running for plus 40 pips. And then if you got buys from down over here, which is something that I discussed, then you, wow, 50 pip runners, damn. Yeah, I think the London session volume is definitely coming back. So anyway, yeah, we're gonna call it a day here in a sec. Let's do a little bit of a breakdown. Let's do a little bit of a breakdown of the pairs, what's kind of happened today, and then we're going to call it a day. But it's nice to see we had so many likes. We had 68 likes here on the stream. So beautiful. GA has also gone up. Nice. So let's take a look at gold. So gold is actually moving bearish. Gold is moving bearish. It should reach 1839. Yeah, 15-minute candle closed below. The next one's breaking the lows. Should continue moving down. So GJ, obviously we spoke about GJ. Euro JPY. Oh, EJ also moved bullish. Yeah, EJ also moved bullish. Pretty good. EN's also moving up. Reached the target over there. So yeah, I mean, it was ranging, but maybe since we created support, impulse entry. See, these kind of impulse entries on the 30-minute are a lot better because, you know, you can use like a little bit less risk, and then obviously if it closes back in the range, you just close the position. But if it closes above, you just hold it because there's no reason not to. But yeah, this just went straight up to target. So EN also played out, but GU is moving bearish. Interesting. So GU had volume before, and now it's retracing, so maybe it needs to come back to this area to like create support. So for GU, you'd want a support to form, and then you have a probability to retest the high, which is like a 30 pip range. 30 pip range, so beautiful. So there we go. Better idea. Knowing it creates support would be a better idea. I think if you, let's say you didn't want to take a buy on the close because you're like, okay, you want to wait for support. It would have been an impulse entry right over here. This is where you would have executed your buys. Stops would have been probably down over here, or even, yeah, more conservative stop here, more aggressive here. Super aggressive is going to be below the current low, but that's like super aggressive. So that's a no-no. Below the previous candle is much better, but that's where you would have looked to take them, because then you would have wanted to ride this clean move up. Since we're breaking the highs, we're closing above this area, so it just, yeah, it makes sense. So there we go. Really nice trade here today, guys. Beautiful trade. So yeah, we're gonna call it a day. So thanks everyone for coming on. Really appreciate it. Obviously, we'll be back. We'll be back tomorrow morning, 7:30 AM GMT. Also, we don't have a guest this Friday. We don't have a guest. I haven't really thought of anybody. So, if there's anybody in particular you guys want that maybe I can reach out to, then we'll have a think. But yeah, we can discuss it tomorrow on the stream. I'll try and get somebody on. But if not, if we can't think of anybody or no one's around, then maybe I'll just ask someone that we've had on before. Maybe like we'll get Sharma back on. She was good. Yeah, but we'll see. So thanks everyone. Really appreciate it. So yeah, we'll see you all tomorrow. Have a good day, everyone. No over trading.
You guys, bye.
Yeah, no problem. No over trading. Be cautious. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks everyone. See you tomorrow. Yeah, cool. See you everyone.